Here's more of the Alice Stewart Show on 96.5 The Voice.
And it's a great day to be alive. I know the sun's still shining when I close my eyes. There's some hard times in the
Welcome back to the Alice Stewart Show. 7:45, big week at the state capitol as candidates make it official, filing the official paperwork for various offices. And one man heading to the capitol this morning to do just that is Little Rock businessman John Burkhalter. He will be filing as the Democratic candidate for lieutenant governor. He joins us this morning in studio. John, great to have you here.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you so much for letting me come into the show. Usually I'm taking my children to school at this time. We've been friends a long time. You're friends with my wife, Penny, and so she's taking my girls to school, and then it is a big day for me today, and my family and my little girls and my wife plan to join me at the Capitol today. Well,
this is a big, you're very involved with various groups, but this is your first big venture into the elected office. You're a Little Rock businessman. You're a civil engineer. You have done many things in your business, but I wanted you to talk about that. But in terms of your serving on various boards, you were chairman of the Arkansas Economic Development Commission. Governor Beebe appointed you to the Arkansas Highway Commission. You've resigned all those boards and positions in order to run for office. But tell us about your business, what you've done as a business man.
As a business guy, I was like nobody else growing up. I got a great degree at the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville in engineering, and I came to Little Rock and worked for another engineer and sat on a metal stool and behind a wooden desk and began to design projects for him. And I did that for approximately 10 years, never dreaming that I would have a chance to have a business. I kind of grew up believing that if you could buy a split-level house and have one car, it was the American dream. And it is still a great dream to have. We don't build that many split-level houses anymore. But I got the idea to start my own business, and naive to a certain degree. I didn't come from a family of political background or financial wealth. And I went to most all the banks in central Arkansas and was turned down. I couldn't get a loan. So I refinanced my house, and I used my credit cards. My parents had always taught me to make sure I had good credit. And so I began to build my business with very little capital. And after a couple of years, I was able to get an SBA loan, which was the first time in my life I had capital. It was a little over $300,000, and my little business skyrocketed, and it grew to 27 states. And I lived the American dream, and then I began to build other businesses in Arkansas. But I've got a lot to offer my state because I understand the struggles of people that want to have a better job, want to create a business, grow a business, or bring a business. And I think I'm separated completely from anybody else in this race because I'm not a politician. I'm just a small business owner.
And when you look at the actual office that you are filing for, John Burkhalter here, announcing today or filing the official paperwork for lieutenant governor. If you look at the official duties of that office by the Arkansas Constitution, the number one role is to preside over the Senate with tie-breaking votes, serve as governor when the governor is out of state, and serve as governor if the governor is impeached, removed from office, dies, or is otherwise unable to discharge the office duties. What is it that you have done in your past with your work experience that prepares you for these specific roles and responsibilities as lieutenant governor?
All right, great question. I'm a guy that please don't ever say you can't do it, you can't make it happen, because I started with very little. And, the office is a small office. It has limited duties, but I don't believe it's the person that's elected. It's the person that actually knows what he wants to do once he gets there. And I will be very vocal for business in the state of Arkansas. And, those duties are important. I think one of the most important duties is the fact that they are elected from the entire state. Because literally if something dreadful happened to our governor or when he's out of state, or especially if something terrible happened, he will be the governor. And people, I think, should have the opportunity to elect someone from the entire electorate body in the state of Arkansas. And so it's really a very important job. And I think people are definitely more attuned to the fact that there is a lieutenant governor and that he has an important role. And he has to be morally and ethically a good guy or good gal.
And that is key with all elected offices, and certainly these constitutional offices, and making sure we keep and instill the public trust in all of these offices. While we see what the official duties are as lieutenant governor, you, with your background, you come with certain visions and certain missions and key statements that you want to, or duties that you want to implement. all dealing really with jobs, bringing new industry and jobs to Arkansas, helping small businesses grow and create jobs, and overall job creation as a priority for that office. How do you plan to do that as Lieutenant Governor?
I think to answer your question, if I hadn't got a great education in Arkansas, Alice, I wouldn't be here today. You wouldn't be interviewing me, and I wouldn't have had this opportunity. So first, I had the great opportunity to get a good education in Arkansas, and then I had the opportunity to build businesses. And I'm a guy, if you really wanted to boil my life down in one sentence, it's a guy that's created a lot with a very little. I came from nothing, had all the odds against me, probably shouldn't have made it in most people's eyes because most people said, you will not make it. You can't, this won't happen for you. But it did happen. And I think Arkansas has a long way to go. Arkansans are still struggling. We have a small state, and we have a poor state. We have a long way to go. And I'm a guy that's going to have limited budget. I know that I've run my business as lean. To this day, I operate out of a small metal building. And, I could have a bigger, nicer facility, but, I run my businesses very efficiently. I have low overhead, and I plan to do the same thing with Lieutenant Governor's office, but yet you give me a little opportunity to help my state, I can go a long way, and it will be in three ways. I want to help others that want to start businesses. I want to help them find capital. I want them to better understand how to build a business plan, how to fill out a financial statement, and hopefully direct them in the direction they need to go to build that business. And then, of course, the bread and butter of our state are the people that actually have businesses here. They want to grow if they can. They need direction. In Washington, we just need direction. We need to be able to plan. And as long as we continue to operate the way we do in Washington, it's very difficult for business people to be willing to invest their capital to grow their business. I want to help them understand the roadmap, help them build those businesses. And then I like to say that we're really not competing with the surrounding states, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Mississippi. We're competing with the world. We're living in a world economy. Everything moves very quickly today. I've traded internationally. I've done business internationally. And I can speak the language of business people abroad. And I want to be a lieutenant governor that's willing to get on a plane, a train, and go anywhere in the world and put myself out there, tell them I'm the lieutenant governor, tell them I want them to bring their business to Arkansas, what we have to offer, and lift up what's important about Arkansas. We've got great natural resources here. We've got great people, and we've got people that are willing to work.
I want to ask you, you're running as the Democrat for lieutenant governor. There, on the Republican side, there are three folks, fine candidates that have filed their paperwork. We have Congressman Tim Griffin, we have Representatives Andy Mayberry and Deborah Hobbs. Tim Griffin, in recent polling data, the two of you appear to be at the top of the list. How would you distinguish your background and your experience with someone like Tim Griffin or Andy Mayberry or Deborah Hobbs that would make you a better lieutenant governor?
Well, the first address, you mentioned Tim Griffin, and he appears to be at the top of his ticket at this time. I think it's going to be real easy for people to decide who they really want for their next lieutenant governor. If you're looking for a small business owner, someone that lifted himself up by his bootstraps, got educated in Arkansas, never left Arkansas, and has given back for a very long time. In many ways, my wife and I have given to charities for many years. I've served on boards and commissions. I did actually give up all the boards and commissions. One of them that was really dear to my life was Pathfinder. I'd sat on that board for, I believe, 15 years, and I decided it was best to have a very clean slate and not be serving on any boards and commissions. But I think it's going to be very easy to differentiate us. He's a career Washington politician, where I'm not a politician. I'm a small business owner, and I'm a guy that knows how to create jobs, and I want to help Arkansans. And
we've got a little over a minute left. I want to ask you this. You, at the beginning, when you first started getting your name out there and running, as well as Congressman Mike Ross, the two of you had discussed and worked on possibly an economic development commission, you being chairman of that, to help build jobs, and basically a joint partnership with Congressman Ross. And he, obviously running for governor, he's getting hit a lot for his support of Obamacare. And a lot of the Democrats, we saw it in 2010, the connection with Obamacare, and the Democrats were weighted down by that in 2010. How do you see that being a factor for the Democrats, including yourself, in this election?
Well, fortunately, last session we had a bipartisan movement in which we passed the private option. Private option, I love it because, it actually brings in private providers to help lower the cost of insurance. I'm all about doing as much privately as we can, also lower the cost. I know that Governor Beebe backs a private option. I know that it's through the Senate at this point. It's still over in the House. I think in the end, leaders will step forward and we'll pass that out. But I'm very much for the private option. Mike Ross has been a friend of mine for many, many years. I think he'll make a great governor. I supported him in Congress. He is a great guy. He was a small business owner, and I'm very excited about the fact that we have discussed, we've planned for the governor's cabinet.
All right. Well, you are John Burkhalter. You're going to file the official paperwork today. Best of luck to you. As you know, as you will learn in business and politics, you don't take no for an answer. Just keep on going. I encourage folks to go to your website, johnburkhalter.com, find out about your all about you and your issues and how to volunteer and donate. But I appreciate your time this morning and coming in, and best of luck with your filing and moving ahead.
Thank you very much, Alice.
Right.
Thanks for the time.
All right. Thank you, John. John Burkhalter running for Lieutenant Governor. That wraps it up for this edition of the Alice Stewart Show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk tomorrow. Have a great day.
The Alice Stewart Show on 96.5 The Voice.